Ever look back at the whole year of your life and realize you can barely remember it? And then suddenly had an amazing week after that felt longer and more epic than the entire month before? If so, you're not alone. Hi, I'm Tom and welcome to the Dopamine Factory, where we aim to understand life and craft daily happiness. And today we're diving into a personal and somewhat scary topic: our experience of time. So right now I'm in my 30s, the time where most people are building their careers, their homes and their families, which is a beautiful but also confronting phase. And what especially strikes me is how fast time is passing by. Like, one day I'm starting a new job, the next day I'm at my own goodbye party. One day I'm playing in my grandfather's living room, the next day I'm at his funeral. And this triggers in me the fear, what if all of life passes by just like that? And as such, I want to explore if there's not a way to slow down our perception of time and stretch our lived reality. Basically, to experience more happiness. So, let's get into it. What I've observed is that almost every positive chapter in life follows a similar rhythm. Take holiday, for example. It starts with pre-joy. Like we are spending days, sometimes weeks or months planning, packing and imagining how things will be, until we reach the first days of a holiday, which then often feel endless. Like every street is new, every activity is exciting, and even when things go totally sideways, we still frame it as a new experience. And then over time we settle in. And we learn to understand our environment, mainly in relationship to our own preferences. We, for example, know on holiday where to find our breakfast spot, or where to get the cheapest cocktails, or how to best walk to the beach. Like all this key information, which you might at some point even pass on to newer guests that are eager to learn. And then suddenly it hits you. You're halfway through your holiday. And while rationally you know that the second half of your holiday is just as long as the first half, somehow it feels different. And instead of enjoying the moment, many of us slip into countdown mode. And the next thing you know is you're on your plane back home, scrolling through your photos, wondering, how did it all pass by so quickly? The journey of life works the same way. You're born, you learn, you settle, you teach, and then boom, you are that person lying in the middle of a bed with your family gathered around you, eating cheap cake at your funeral. Psychologists, however, have shown us something fascinating. Our perception of time isn't fixed. It can stretch or extend, and this is largely depending on four things. Firstly, our level of engagement. Time flies when you're fully immersed. Just think of a festival, or fun with friends, or getting lost in a project you really love. But also picture the other side of not being engaged, like waiting in a waiting room. You see, every second there suddenly feels like a minute. The second element is emotion. Joy, love and excitement can all activate dopamine, which can dissolve our sense of time. While fear, anxiety and discomfort do the opposite. They put your brain on high alert, slowing everything down. And this is also why a fun dinner disappears sometimes in a heartbeat, while waiting for bad news can feel like forever. The third element is novelty. New places and new experiences expand time, because your brain has to work harder to process unfamiliar information, storing more details. That's why a weekend in New York City can feel longer than an entire week at the office. And then the fourth element is memory storage. In the moment, time may fly. But in hindsight, the length of time is just judged by how many anchors your brain has stored. And this is also known as the peak end rule. We as humans do not really remember the full length of experiences. We mainly remember the emotional highs and how things ended. And that's why weddings or road trips or farewell parties stay more active in your mind, while literally every thought of last Tuesday's lunch has disappeared. So, if time can bend, the question becomes, how can we influence it? At the heart of all elements that influence our perception of time is one simple factor: focus. Or specifically, how much we zoom in or zoom out on moments. When we zoom in, time feels more intense, for better or for worse. When we zoom out, time feels more distant, for better or for worse. And to visualize this, let's map it on a 2x2 matrix with on the horizontal axis zoom in and zoom out, and on the vertical axis joy versus pain, which gives us 4 emotional time zones. Time zone number 1 is the trap, where we zoom in on pain. And this is sadly where many of us live by default. Like you're at work staring at the clock, or you're replaying that one sharp remark a colleague made. And the more you focus on it, the slower time moves and the bigger the pain grows. Don't be that person. Time zone number 2 is the postcard effect. And this is where we zoom out on joy. And this is basically the bittersweet side of happiness. Think again of the 2-week holiday. You did hundreds of things, you shared endless moments of fun, but when you look back, then you mostly remember maybe that one sunset, the farewell dinner, and maybe that nice blurry selfie with the group. And don't get me wrong, these are nice memories, but you're also missing so much happiness potential here. Then time zone number 3 is also known as shrinking the moment, where we zoom out on pain. Just imagine you're stuck in traffic, or you're going through a rough week. In the moment, time might feel intense, right? But if you zoom out on the situation, your perception might start to change, because let's be real, how much damage does it really do to be 20 minutes late? And what is one bad week really in the context of life? So what you do by zooming out is not per se erasing the pain that shitty things happen, but you're putting it in perspective of the bigger picture. And then we have time zone number 4, and this is also known as stretching the moment, where we zoom in on joy. Imagine again you have a dinner with friends. If you just let it happen, time flies by. But now, consciously slow down and pay attention to how everyone is having fun. Focus on the taste of food and really see the look in people's eyes. You feel it? Suddenly, time starts to expand. First of all, in the moment, but by doing this, you're also adding many memory anchors in your brain, making your night literally unforgettable. So, the trick to making life feel longer is simple. Focus closely on the now to stretch positive experiences and pull your focus back from the moment to shrink negative experiences. And the good news, simply practicing this mindset already makes a real difference. I, for example, did this during my last holiday in France, where a few weeks before the start of my holiday, I zoomed out and told myself, what are a few weeks in the context of life? And time moves faster. Halfway through my holiday, I zoomed in and thought, how great is it that I still have a full week left, and time slowed down. And even on the very last Sunday, I reframed my situation and thought, how happy would I normally be with just one free day or even just one afternoon off? And suddenly, time slowed down again. And the result? I managed better to experience and enjoy every moment of my holiday right till the end. And if this works for a single holiday, why not for life itself? So let me now give you an uncomfortable truth. Most people don't need more time to make life feel longer. They just need to stop living on autopilot and pay more attention to the now to expand the length of the experienced life, which is something you can do every single day. So now let's switch over to you. Does this video resonate with your own experience of time? And what are ways you lengthen the good moments in life? Drop your thoughts in the comment, and if you made it this far anyways, please like, subscribe and share this with someone that can benefit from the message. It's support like this that helps the channel grow, and it's also your unique opportunity to still give me a little spike of dopamine today. Thank you again for watching, and I love to see you in the next one. Much love, Tom.